Okay, let's start. Just before we kick it off, I just want to invite you to leave all your questions and comments in the chat box, as we are doing it. We want to render it as interactive as possible. We are here to support you. We are here to answer all of your questions. And today we have a special guest with us, Valentina, that is accompanied by Irina, her recently joined colleague.
Hello.
Valentina, a little bit quickly about her background. So Valentina was born in the Ukraine, and she moved to Luxembourg in 2016. Joined the Docler Holding team, the Docler Holding Tech Recruitment team. In 2018, she was promoted as services manager, where she implemented the Docler Holding Recruitment Services strategy. Over the last few years, Docler Holding, together with Martin Followup, who's the COO, they have earned the reputation for being the #1 leading talent recruiter in Luxembourg, employing in less than 5 years more than 250 people from 30 different nationalities, out of which 150 are highly skilled IT developers and IT experts. Docler Holding is also at the forefront of the first hackathon called Game of Code, made exclusively in Luxembourg, attracting up to 150 developers and designers from all over the world. So without further ado, Valentina, please take it away. Thank you.
Thank you so much for such a presentation. And this is truly a humbling moment for me and my dear teammate here, Irina, who will hop on in a bit. So we have this opportunity to share some of the knowledge and some of the tools. Hopefully, pretty sure that you will be able to use them right up to this webinar. And since you mentioned, Anthony, about hackathon, we actually have the Hack the Crisis, which is the hackathon tonight, 4 p.m. Going on live. So you're very welcome to join. You'll be able to see how it's going and see some of the presentations. So back to us. So yes, my name is Valentina. I'm recruitment service manager at Docler. Some of you might not know, but Docler's one of the biggest strengths is the live video streaming technology, the very same type of technology that is connecting us today and enabling us to talk. One of the platforms of Docler has hit 30 top sites in the world. This is measured by Alexa ranking, and we have 45 million unique visitors per day. So yes, this is a pretty challenging in terms of being a part of recruitment department. This is a truly challenge. So Anthony reached out to us saying, hey, show some real tricks that can be helpful. So that's what we prepared for you. I will start from, basically we'll touch two main topics. First is the HR topic, which where we need to onboard people. So yes, our business is going pretty fine, even during the lockdown, but it doesn't mean that it's easy. Right, so I wanted to show you something very visual, what we actually put in place. And it's a little sneak peek into something that we have really internally, only for employees for our company. I will start the share screen right now. Okay, so this is the online system for our new joiners. At this very moment, even during the lockdown, we have new joiners who are getting into the company, and it's a pretty big structure for any company. A new joiner, it's a known fact that it's pretty stressful activity to be first week at a new company. During the lockdown and working from home, it might be not only stressful, but also confusing, because we cannot go on and see the teammates. We cannot enter the room and say, hey, let's go for coffee. And you need to start being effective pretty soon, and you have a lot of questions. So as managers, it might be a good solution. So we created this system on our own. It took us not so long. Of course, we had to be quick with it because nobody was prepared for the lockdown. So I will start this video shortly to show what it has. So instead of contacting all the time HR, your CTO, the CEO, depending on the structure of your company, with the same questions like, hey, what do I have to do if I need the day vacation, or if I get sick, or that and that, and what kind of documents, what is expecting, what is this team doing, what product, who should I contact if. So all of the things can be very easily navigated in such system. There are also solutions that can be bought and put up in place pretty fast. And yeah, what it's doing, it's saving you a whole lot of time, and also creating a very good experience for your new joiner to start with a good foot. They will feel that you care about them. You put something very user-friendly, intuitive for them. And when you have your introductory video call with the team, they already know a little bit. They're not so stressful. They feel a bit more comfortable. So let me start this video. So here I'm going on to onboarding. Yep, onto the onboarding tab. We've got the 3 offices: Budapest, Los Angeles, Luxembourg. Going onto the Luxembourg part, you've got the welcome message, HR policies, but everything is done in the way that it can be easily found, the very question that you have. Here there is the presentation of the teams, because just having a link to what he or she is doing, or through Teams you might see the role for new joiners is a real stress. So this is how we found easy and something visual for our new joiner to see. So this is basically the principle. I cannot show you the whole video, unfortunately, because it's really internal tool, but we wanted to share with you the structure and give you this idea that it can be handy for your organization. Okay, so together with the onboarding, what we actually have as a challenge is still recruiting, and we've got the full speed right now. But it doesn't matter, we do it during the lockdown or after the lockdown. I mean, it's always not so easy, especially when we talk about tech, not only tech, but yeah, tech, IT, engineers, infrastructure, they are pretty in demand. Even during the lockdown, they're not so sure, so it's not easier. So let's go, let's get our hands dirty. We will show you some of the tools that can be really used and basically to hack the communication, so that you can find those candidates that maybe others do not find easily. So let's go. And it's going to be really live. Yeah, I prepared some tabs, but nothing more than that. So let's go. Let's imagine there's just a normal request, right? PHP, I don't know, let's put it, whatever, a senior PHP. I'm doing it very simple, not even in advanced, just in the simple search. In Luxembourg, right? And let's add a Golang language. Let's go. This is, you will tell me, come on, what she's doing. We know that for sure, and everybody knows it. This is the problem. It's a beautiful list. Even if you do it with the advanced options, you can definitely find the search. But there are 2 problems. One is that every recruiter or everybody who needs to look for a needed talent is going here and sees the same list and contacting same people. So at least if you really do it on here or LinkedIn Recruiter, I usually start from the end. Either 100 is too much, but from the 8th page. where might other recruiters abandon already. Anyways, another bad news is that we don't really know if somebody who says he's the first engineer, solution architect, we don't know if for our standards, for our requirements is going to be really solution architect. Myself, I can name myself whatever I want on LinkedIn. We really need the proof that we bring to the interview somebody worthy for engineering roles. What we do is the GitHub. GitHub is just the golden place for the engineers. You probably have heard, or maybe somebody used. I will love to read the comments if you share that you know already how to use on GitHub. We would chat later on. But basically, GitHub is the open source coding platform where engineers can commit, they can leave their contributions. What's good is that other engineers can start them, they can follow each other, and they can fork. I will talk about all of that in a little bit. They can use the pieces of code for their own project. Everything is visible, everything is recorded, and this is how you definitely know that probably it's worth spending some time with them on the interview. So what we will do, yeah, I'll delete it and do just from the beginning. We just put, for instance, PHP, just to start it, all GitHub. Very quickly to show you how the search works. It's from the opposite. So users are here in the end of the menu bar. We want to go to advanced search. In the advanced search, we go to the very end again and see the user option. So what we want to do, just to try and test who is here, we want to put Luxembourg. We want our candidate to have at least some followers. On GitHub, having followers, it's already good. It's not that easy. It doesn't mean that if an engineer doesn't have followers at all, it doesn't mean that they're not good. No, it means that they are not using it, and there's no data to prove that their code was good. But those who are using it shows really good information for us. So we put more than 10, or just more than 10 followers, and here let's put 5 public repositories. For instance, let's do the search. Yeah, not a lot, right, in Luxembourg. Okay, so we've got, but it's also, yeah, it's also because we're limited with the followers. We've got here one of the developers here in Luxembourg. So what's interesting, what we can see here, we can see, yeah, my extensions, I will talk about them just in a little bit, show up. So here's the overview. Here are his pinned repositories. When it's all bold, it means that it's completely his contribution. When it's first not bold, first name not bold, and the other one, it's kicking me. Okay, and the other one is bold, that means that this is a contribution to someone else's code. Here we see the 4 stars. 4 stars means that another engineer saw it. We can actually see who. And they start and they want to follow. They want to have it in their pinned, not be notified about these code updates. And here are 2 forks. The fork means that somebody already used the code without changing the source code. So the authors, and we see this is Boris. Boris' code was not changed, but it was used. So that probably means that another engineer thought it was a pretty good code. So he or she decided to use it. And that's a little bit of a reference for us. What is interesting, I will show you what this pop-up widget showing. This widget is the extension. This one, extension is called HR Octus. Let me, here it is. It's very small probably for you, but I will read it, Octo HR. So what it does is that it brings the email on top. Here we don't have an email. And we got the languages and percentage. That doesn't mean that it's not their proficiency, it's only the amount. So the biggest amount of code and repositories. Repository means kind of file containing the piece of code. So 70% of code done and contributions on PHP, 20% on JavaScript, and so on TypeScript. All right. Yes, what is interesting as well is the other extension named Amazing Hiring. Amazing Hiring is, there's paid version and free version. What I'm showing you right now is completely for free. So this extension is showing us all of the, you see the magical window here, all of the other social networks where they are, well, where Boris is. So the Twitter, GitHub, Stack Overflow, here the little nice PHP elephant, right? The community. What is something that you don't see, you miss? This is LinkedIn. So there's no LinkedIn, and this developer is not on LinkedIn. And by the way, I do know this guy. It's named Germany here, but he is in Luxembourg. Really? Okay. Yes, we can go on to LinkedIn and put his name in here. This is not him. Huh? So there's no one. So basically on LinkedIn, obviously not all of the engineers are there. So if we only do headhunting on LinkedIn, that means we miss a whole lot of pretty nice candidates. So what is good as well is that if we connect with them and we talk about their GitHub or something that they did, or they have followers, or nice, any of the nice you know, contributions and activities that they know, they for sure know about their own account, they'll be happy to connect with you. Instead of just saying, hello, here we look for this engineer, interested, no, yes, bye. If we create the relationship showing that we know, we spend time with, search, and we know that Boris is probably a good match for our requirements, that creates some of the legitimate reason for connecting. They will be happy to connect. Okay, from now on, I want to move out of Luxembourg just to have more things to play with on GitHub. And I'm going to go, I want to save some time, so I'm not doing the search, but I'm doing the search here through the Octo HR. It's also possible in here. So what we see, here's Matias. Matias has a pretty nice profile. So we see followers, 8.8K. He's following not so many, stars as well. A lot of 500, that's a lot of repositories. So you know this part already. What is interesting here is that he actually contributed into Google. Well, basically, if we go and see, he works at Google. But okay, probably we're not gonna headhunt as for this engineer, but this is for you to understand. These are the commits that engineers can do, and that happens pretty often, but it's very good achievement when they commit, and some of the companies or some of the authors are accepting. That is called a PR, so pull requests. Pull request means that somebody asked an issue, somebody asked, okay, this is my code, there's an issue, I'm investigating. So I do a request, and somebody, another engineer can reply to it, showing the solution. If it's merged, if it's accepted, this is a great commitment, because it's also very competent. There's a lot of competition on this open source platform for engineers. So this is a good achievement, definitely. So it probably makes sense to invite for an interview if we can afford and attract such candidate, but there are others who will commit and be accepted as well. Okay, we can go into the details. We don't need it right now, but I will just mention that engineers or technical hiring managers can go onto GitHub. They know it very, very well. They can actually see the pieces of code and already see it's like the test is done. You save a lot of time, and you just go and go and interview the person. They already saw the quality of code, the clean or no architecture, and so on. Okay, I am going out from GitHub right now, because let's say that, yeah, I'm wondering now if I should share, because there's somebody here, there's somebody back from Docler before. Yesterday when I was putting together this presentation, he put in the feed that, hey, I have started to have sponsors for my post on GitHub. So GitHub now has a new feature where their commits, where their projects can be downloaded and used, and they can also have contributions money for it. So it's kind of a passive income for them as well. So he's very happy about it, and he Guillaume has mentioned that on the feed. And definitely when you reach out, you can actually see it's here, contributed here. When you reach out and say, hey, congratulations, this is a big achievement, trust me, they will connect with you, they will talk with you. All right, okay, we move on. I'd like to move on to LinkedIn. Onto LinkedIn, and the interesting things here as well. So on LinkedIn, there are tools. This has been a little bit slow, apologies, but on LinkedIn, there are tools that help you to build a network in a very smart way, in a very engaging way. No spam. You have to be very careful about it, but it saves a whole lot of time. And you can, you can do the network with your potential clients or with candidates. It does not matter. It's just a matter of your structure. Okay, I'm responsive. That's fine. Let's move into here. Let me close. Yeah, a bit of too much, no? Tabs. Okay. I need this one and this one. All right, guys. I wanna. How are you? I will unmute. How are you feeling right now? Am I unmuting? No, I cannot. Okay, I got it. I cannot do it before I stop sharing. Let's continue then. So the first tool that I want to show you is expand.io. And expand.io is the software which, yeah, I actually got the idea from my husband. He's really, really knowledgeable about the tools and hacks. I will show you practically a very, one of the ways we can use it, okay? Let's go to the linked post of Anthony. Anthony, I hope you're gonna be okay with that.
Let's just go ahead.
Okay, nice. So what we can do is we can engage in just a couple of clicks with all of the engaged people with this post. So all of those who liked, we can very carefully but engage with them. How we can do it? So we need, I will show you, you will see why. We need to copy this, to copy the link to post. Da-da. Okay. Let me do some manipulations. in expand.io, I am going to open the link from this post. It's actually already here because I wanted to save a bit of time. If you do have questions afterwards, I'm very happy to reply. But here I want to save some time and I just want to open it. So basically what I do is I copy paste the link to the post. And here I've got all of those who liked the post. Definitely have a lot of contacts already with them. But this is just an example for you. You can do it with a post in regards to business or in regards to technologies. Like here I've got cloud, a post about cloud. So let's see with the example of Anthony's post. All right, here, all of these contacts, go up. Okay, all of these contacts, we can do the following. We can assign a campaign. You probably know what campaign is. It is either one message. It is one message with one click to many of the contacts, or it is a sequence of message. So the idea here is to connect just carefully to be able to build the relationship. That's what LinkedIn is for. Not spam, not sell, not propose anything from the very first connection, but build the relationship. So we assign a okay. Show all, sign all results, yes. The connection request, in here I've got the campaigns. Okay, cool. Yeah. This is the tabs. So I will engage with some of the posts, some of the group of people which are very much interesting for me, to see how, to connect with them first, and then saying something very simple like, I would love to connect with you, especially if it goes into the network not from Luxembourg. Not from Luxembourg, because here we can see people physically, but when it comes to international, it's priceless. So you connect with people, then you send a first message saying why. For instance, it can be, I saw your like about this post, regarding about Anthony's post regarding the hacks of headhunting during the crisis. Just curious, did you participate? And if yes, what did you think? By the way, this question is very valid for you as well. I will be very happy to have you. I have some of you already in connection, some not. So I will be super happy to hear about the feedback. So after the first, between the each step, we will be able to set up how many days. So it can be first contact and then message after 5 days or after 3 days. I would suggest something like after 3 days. Very light, and again, the aim is to build the relationship with the network. So it's either your just your network who you're interested to discuss with, from your field of business, somebody who you see as potential investors, or clients, or definitely your future colleagues, technical or not. So for now, Irina has pretty cool tools to share with you about, again, hacking the search for engineers. Irina, please take the floor.
Valentina, Irina, I have a question for both of you.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Pedro. So he's asking us, what are the trends that you have observed in terms of recruiting tech talent in Luxembourg over the last few weeks? What are the types of profile and what are the types of profiles that companies are looking for right now?
Okay, sure. I can start and then you can add. So the trends right now, definitely we are living in a moment of crisis because companies are not so sure about nobody is sure about what's going to happen with the lockdown. Now it seems like we're going out. We don't know what that will drive to later on. So yes, companies are hesitant. The same for candidates. They do not know. They don't want to leave fast without real risk. But the real risk, of course, nobody will shake the nobody will say, okay, we've got the drop on in finance this week. So basically, the trends are that on the market, we still headhunt. We need to be very careful being communicating well with the candidates and giving them enough of information, making sure that their potential move to our companies. This is the trend, I would say. And still hiring or no? Yes, there are some companies who are still hiring without a problem. Like for instance, Docler, it's a high speed. It's even more than before, also because of lockdown. And some of our clients are still with us. They are actively searching. They're not so connected to offline business, and there are definitely some who phrases, of course. What kind of skills search for right now? I wouldn't think that would change. I think the skill set changed will come later when everybody will get back to the normal, more or less normal life from home. I think then people will start finding new solutions, and then we will see raise for other skills. Definitely something new is going to come up. Irina?
Thanks, Valentina. I would just add to this that it's a good time for recruitment in terms of the fact that many companies are actually losing people, and we can come and suggest our support to the candidates because we can hire, but also regarding the skill set, technical professionals who are able to work remotely and whose work is actually applicable remotely are more in demand right now, while the other professions like in marketing and in sales or in recruitment actually are not that much in trend. I've noticed that many people are actually losing their jobs, unfortunately. So yeah, if you are in search for professionals and would like to help the community of those who are less fortunate with the job market, there are many resources where you can find which companies are laying off their employees, and you can suggest the support in those areas.
Okay, thank you, Irina.
And I can also see that there is another question for Valentina about Expand.io.
Yes, Expand.io. Yes, so Expand.io is not for free. This is true, and I wanted to say it. There are other extensions and solutions that are for free, which are in the blacklist of LinkedIn. You have to be very, very careful with this too. So there are the solutions similar to this one. For instance, Alfredo, yeah, this is in blacklist, so you might be banned, and there were some pretty influential people banned on LinkedIn for this, so you have to be smart about it. This one is not for free.
Okay, if you don't mind, I can pick up the next question about hiring abroad.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
So yeah, regarding the situation with the government, we cannot, for example, proceed with a visa candidate, those who would need work permits. But what we can suggest is to hire them as contractors remotely. Otherwise, from other countries where people don't need work permits or visa sponsorship, we keep hiring people from abroad. We allow them to start remotely, expecting them to join us after the lockdown here in Luxembourg. Okay, thank you very much for the questions. I will proceed to my part. For the beginning, the short introduction, I'm Irina from Ukraine as well. I'm in IT recruitment for more than 5 years already. Regarding my major focus is that I try to be as technical as possible, to be able to communicate with my candidates on the same language, more or less. And also I try to automatize my job as much as possible. This way I can do a higher volume and higher speed. And this is exactly what I'd like to talk about today. I will explain how you can close your positions faster, and if you have many positions, how to organize your work in a way which will bring the most value in the shortest time. So Valentina already showed you a few ways how you can headhunt candidates. I will show some too, but first I will tell the logic of my approach. I take 1 month, for example, and the first week I try to contact as many people as possible, approximately 50 or 100 people per day. So I get at the end of the week approximately 300 to 500 candidates. That sounds probably enormous, but of course not all of them will reply from the first attempt. To increase the response rate, there are a few ways. First, you need to be engaging. As Valentina showed you one example, you need to find something that will make the candidate feel that he was valued, he or she was valued, that they were appreciated, the experience was noticed, and it's not the occasional spam from someone who didn't even care to review this profile. That's one of the approaches. The other one, which is quite data-driven, and I will show you in a minute why, it's actually the follow-ups. So when most of the recruiters, they have the approach to reach out to candidates only once, and if the person doesn't reply, it means the person is not interested, and let's move on. But what I can say is there are so many reasons why they didn't reply. It can be they didn't notice your specific message within 20 other messages, or they consider it as something that they shouldn't be interested in, so they just scrolled it, or simply they don't check their LinkedIn that oftenly, as well as their mailbox. Usually I do up to 3 follow-ups to the candidates. First, I do the normal introduction of the product, technology, some catchy engaging phrase, and asking if they would like to have a call with me. The next follow-up is I'm just casually asking if they might have missed my message by mistake. So that's why I'd like to remind that I have this opportunity. And the third one, I try to make it fun, because I don't want to be considered as someone who would spam or who's annoying. That's why I start with something like, it's again me, Irina with Docler. Sorry for spamming you, but I'm not giving up because I really value your experience. And to show you how well it works, I will share my screen. Just a second. Let me know if you can see it.
Yes.
Excellent. So this is the report tool from LinkedIn Recruiter. I'm not sure how many of you are using LinkedIn Recruiter, but it's just to show what's the data behind this follow-up approach. Here I selected the range of 3 months of my messages. So within 3 months, I have sent out only on LinkedIn 910 messages, and each message, so each follow-up counted as one single message. They don't count how many people I contacted, but how many messages I sent. So it shows that one single message brings 38% of response rate. So if I would contact 100 people, 38 out of them would reply only, if I would send only one message. But here is my project where I collect the candidates for specific position, for example, PHP for one of our products. And here in this pool, I have in total 232 candidates, out of which I got 157 replies. I achieved almost 68% of response rate, just because I sent out from 2 to 3 messages to the same people. So you can see it's close to being doubled. It also depends on the skill and what messages you are using, but that's considered to be quite significant response rate. So I definitely recommend you to use this approach. And if you're afraid that you would get some negative replies like, oh, stop sending me messages, I told you I'm not interested, I also collected some cute and nice responses to my third follow-up. Definitely your determination is really, really impressive, like this one, or I must say, if I ever run a company, I would have recruited like you, the one who insists on a job listing. And there are many, many others. Thanks for your persistence, or you are right, don't give up. So yeah, it's a great approach, and I definitely recommend to use it. But again, LinkedIn is not everything in our business. Valentina showed you really great tool as GitHub, how to use it. I will show you something else. If you might have followed our page, you could have seen that the video where I was talking about Boolean search, and that's exactly how it looks in reality. I know the developers they understand Boolean as a yes or no, true or false algorithm in the code, but for us recruiters and sourcers, it's something like this. It's a tool how to use Google search in the most efficient way. And for example, I need a PHP developer with JavaScript skills. I can just put in Google or on LinkedIn, I need PHP developer with JavaScript, but there are ways how to make it much greater. For example, I added the location which are around Luxembourg in case you your company doesn't relocate employees. And here I put in title, CV or resume or vitae. It means that in the HTML code of the page, there will be a title tag where they are using these phrases. And file type, it's what kind of search results I will be receiving. So I decided to find all the CVs right away from Google. And here you can see some of them will still be not very relevant, but for example, this one or this one, it's already ready CVs. It's completely GDPR compliant because they are posted online, so we don't violate anything here. You can have the contact information of the person, you can have all the information about their background, and you know how to outreach them. So this is one of the approaches, and you can learn about Boolean techniques from the internet, but also there are some helpers. Okay, let me hide it somehow. Oh, sorry. For example, there is such tools. It calls recruiting.net. It's completely free. It helps you to create Boolean strings to find candidates from specific resources. You can do it for LinkedIn, Dribble, GitHub, Xing, Stack Overflow, or Twitter even. Basically, I will be honest with you, there is no website with active users which you cannot hack in terms of recruitment. Even where the last names are anonymized, there are still tricks. If you're interested, we can engage after this webinar, and I will share some of those techniques. But this specific tool here, you can put what you need. You need Java developer, you choose the country you're looking for, Germany. And what you don't need, for example, you don't want to be spammed with recruiter profiles. Yeah, and then you go and it will open you those profiles from LinkedIn. Also, you can do the same with GitHub. You can save those tools. If you don't know, Xing is a web resource with CVs and profiles from German specialists mostly. So again, Java, Luxembourg, find the right people on GitHub. Okay, I think they broke a little bit the logic of GitHub and it doesn't work as efficient, but you can play here as well if you're already good with Boolean search, and let's try Stack Overflow, which is also one of the communities for technical professionals. Let's see what it will show us. Yeah, here you can see some users on Stack Overflow who are proficient in Java. Java is my native tongue. So yeah, this is Boolean search string, which targeting specifically Stack Overflow website. So there are really many things you can do with Boolean, and yeah, there are really many many ways to learn about it. One of them is to reach out to us. Our team of recruiters can help you with this. And also, I wanted to show you, just a second, some tools that would help you to organize your work process. So the first week, as I told at the beginning, you actively contact as many people as possible. Then you receive so many replies that the whole next week you should be expecting your calendar to be booked with calls to the candidates. And how to make it simpler for you. One of the tools we are using at Docler is RecRide. It's a video interview platform where you can once record your questions and share the links with candidates who they can record their answers any suitable time for them. So if you cannot find any more the availability in your calendar, they can do it when they are free and you review it in your free time. Another tool that helps the Calendly. Also, LinkedIn Recruiter has their embedded scheduler as well. Here you can register, you can show your availability, and then you can share the link where other people can book time slot directly from your calendar, and you will have the appointment, so you save time on this. Another tool I wanted to show is Georgia's. It's a Google extension, Google Chrome extension that helps you to save some small templates. For example, if you want to schedule a call and you have 50 messages, which you have to reply completely the same way, it won't be a big problem if that is just a template, but because it's something that you would say to each and every candidate. Thanks for getting back to me. Let's have a call. Please share availability. And using this shortcut, you can go to any resource, type in call and press tab, and this way this message will appear on any web platform you have open. It can be Facebook, GitHub, LinkedIn, anything. And I think in terms of tools, there are many things to organize it, but you can find the ones that will be the most helpful for you. So first week we contacted people, second we called all of them, and the third week we can dedicate to technical interviews or final interviews, and the last week we can make a decision based on who we like the most. In 1 month you can close really many more positions and much faster than if you would do all that in another order and contacting less people and not using any supporting tools. So that's the part of my approach. And also I wanted to share a few tips really quickly how to deliver good candidate experience. One, and I think the most important, is always to deliver feedback. No matter if you like the candidate or not, the person has dedicated their time to you, and it's your obligation to deliver any feedback that the person deserves. That's the most common complaint I've noticed going on forums on or web communities, that developers and other professionals, they don't like when recruiters don't deliver the feedbacks. Another part is precise track. When you have this many candidates, you need to make sure that no one has been left out. That's why there are many modern CRM and ATS you can use to keep a precise track, or you can do simple Excel sheet. It's up to you what is easiest for you. Try to deliver responses to the candidates within 48 hours if it's possible. Otherwise, let them know that it might take a little bit longer time than that. And also try to keep in contact with those people, because if they are not interested right now, they might be in the future. Be personalized, be engaging, and one day it will be paid off to you. That's basically everything I wanted to talk about. Maybe you have some questions.
We have just a little conclusion part. Maybe we can go there and having given the possibility to guys and ladies to give us some more questions. So we want to thank you as well so much for being with us. So we want to also say that yes, this is the crisis situation, but this is also an enormous opportunity to have some time well, with our families and working from home, but also using the time that we used to commute or having stressful situation on the road. We don't need to do that anymore. We can reflect on where we go in, where we were, how we can analyze our business or our activity, finding new ways to grow your business, to grow your results, learn, and just take it as a real opportunity, a blessing from God. I know this is a very sad reason, and I wish there would be a much different reason, but there would not be another time like right now. And the people who are coming back from, all of us who are coming back from lockdown, we felt the taste of working from home. We felt the taste of saving time on sometimes deliveries via Amazon or other e-commerce sites, or completely paperless work and so forth. So let's take this as an opportunity to grow and kind of hack this crisis. Thank you so much.
If you have any final comments, please, the moment is now. As Valentina has mentioned, those times have been unprecedented. Everything, the whole economy has been shaken up. The talent acquisition, talent attraction has been a challenge forever for the European Union, and it hasn't changed right now. Valentina, Irina, it's been a pleasure to have you with us to share your tips and tricks, and I would even consider it as some of your secret sauce. It's been fantastic for you to have you on board. And where can our audience find you? How can our audience reach out to you the best way?
I think we can share our LinkedIn profiles in this chat. So just a second, I will find. And also, thank you very much, Anthony, for this invitation to this webinar. It was really a pleasant experience.
Thank you. Valentina, any final words?
Yes, really blessed with the opportunity to share with you some of these tips. Hopefully they are really practical for you, and we will be really happy to have other chats about the tips and tricks. Here is the family part, family work-life balance part. So thank you so much.
Thank you. So for next week, as you know, we have a series of webinars that we are currently setting up to keep supporting you during the lockdown. Next week, we have, as usual, our Tuesday meditation session, to which all of you are invited. On Wednesday, we have a fantastic speaker, a communication expert that is brought in. The session will be moderated by Manon Loison, our head of marketing and communication. And in 10 days' time, we have other speakers coming in. If you want to know more about what we are doing in terms of webinars, please go to our website, events page, subscribe to our newsletter, and stay tuned. Thank you very much for being with us today. Thank you, Valentina and Irina. Thank you, Docler Holding. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.